And of course, joining me now is Harry Litman. He's a former U.S. attorney and former deputy assistant attorney general. He is now host of the Talking Feds podcast. So it's really interesting. We heard Ali fighting that sound of inauguration, but in some ways that doc is really a reminder of what's to come. For you, what really are, and if you could explain to, for our viewers, what are preemptive pardons, something that not maybe too many Americans have heard of, and why might they be useful in this moment?
Yeah, I mean, they're really kind of a new concept. I think it'd be better to think of them as protective pardons. The idea is there are these dozens of people on various hit lists that Trump has promised to go after, even though they've done nothing wrong. So it's a very tricky position for the White House because they could cast a broad net, and not only to the number of people, but to the terms of each, saying you can't do anything to them. But of course, it would really be a kind of final legacy move by the president, and would be very hard to rebut the suggestion that will come later that, oh, this is just doing the same and politicizing things. It's different because we're talking about really people who are otherwise innocent, have done nothing wrong, but it's a kind of a almost game of chicken. Would Trump actually do this? And this would be the final chance to exercise power and protect or give a safe harbor to people who otherwise might be really unfairly in the crosshairs, have to pay a lot of money and the like.
Yeah, and Ali Rafa just ran down some of those names over the NBC News is saying, and we're understanding that.
Remarkable, right? Liz Cheney and Adam Schiff.
Yeah, Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney, Dr. Anthony Fauci, Congressman James Clyburn says Jack Smith could also get a preemptive pardon. But Harry, there's an enemies list that is long here. At least that's reportedly long here when you look at who Trump and his allies may go after. If President Biden chooses to offer these, how many would be needed here? And will these people actually accept a pardon, even if they believe nothing that they've done is wrong at all?
Yeah, so two-part question, and the first one's very good because if you do the first swipe at people, what about their deputies, people, Jack Smith's team, etc.? So it gets bigger and bigger, and it would have to be an arbitrary cutoff, but I think it's a few dozen anyway. Would they accept the law? People think you have to accept. It's really a little bit unclear, but they'd have the option to accept. I think there would be a couple people. Senator-elect Schiff is one of them who would say, look, I'm not going to do it. I've done nothing wrong. But if Trump comes after him, he could then say, here it is. I've got the pardon. So he'd be armed even if he didn't want to use it.
Yeah, well, definitely something that we're going to continue to stay on and reporting on at NBC. So thank you so much, Harry.